When you eat the first oyster of the season, no matter where you are, it's like standing on the low tide with the seaweed between your toes. The flavours, the liquor, the texture, they bring you here. We've been farming oysters on the east coast of New Zealand's North Island for 22 years. We're always learning and improving, but the basic formula is still the same as when we began. We start with a bundle of sticks in the estuary for the baby oysters to settle on. Then we space the sticks out on our racks. The tides wash over them for 12 to 18 months until they're plump and creamy. Then we harvest them by hand. It's pretty simple really. We take the best of nature and nurture them in pristine waters until they're absolutely perfect.
These waters are an important part of our story. Oysters are like wine in that they take their flavour from the characteristics of their surrounding environment. The quality of the water, the climate and the location of the farm impart distinct flavours. Every bay, every bend in the river produces a unique oyster. And when you start with rich, untouched waters in the deep south of the Pacific Ocean, you get the most honest oysters in the world.
People tell me I have the best office in the world, but it's much more than an office. This is my passion. I grew up around the sea and I studied marine biology. Now I live here, I've raised my kids here. The sea is my life. It's a special place for all New Zealanders. It's part of our identity. As a marine farmer, my livelihood depends on the health of these waters, so it's my job to protect them.
As an environmentally conscious, proud Kiwi foodie, this is the perfect job. I used to be a nurse and Andrew was a scientist, but now we couldn't do anything else. We love it. We couldn't do it if we didn't believe it was sustainable. We grow our own veggies, we shop locally, we recycle and we don't eat any processed foods. It's important to us. The great thing about an oyster is that they have a very light environmental footprint. You couldn't find a greener protein if you tried. We use very few resources. We don't alter the environment to any great extent. And because oysters are filter feeders, they actually improve the water quality.
Within hours of coming off the water, our oysters are off to customers all over the world. We're helping generate valuable export earnings for New Zealand. As marine farmers, we're part of an industry that's employing 3,000 Kiwis and generating nearly $500 million and supporting heaps of local businesses. That's a big contribution to the economy and my local community.
And the best part of the job is seeing people eat our oysters freshly shucked live from the shell. It's sensual. It's perfection. It's a salty kiss from the sea. And you can see it in their face, that moment when they're taken away and they can feel the seaweed between their toes.